first event of the night. It is the Sports Series. 12 laps the distance. Here's the show. On the pole, driving the number 13, the Weld Yacht Services. Number 13, a brand new sponsor on him this week for Jeff Charlin. To the outside, number 07 is Dave Charest out of Westbrook. Number 34, Dana Gagnon lines up from the inside of row number 2. To the outside, the number 21 is Dave Lamprin. 88 is Andy Field. To the outside of him, the number 68 is Rusty Shaw. 35, last year's Wildcat champion is Bobby Nato. To the outside, it's Russell Morrison, the number 63. 57 with a win this season, Ron Smith out of Hollis. To the outside, the number 20 is Frank Ware. The Budweiser number 60 of Scott Dorr goes next, and the number 14 rounds out the running order. This is rookie Travis Buzzle out of Hollis. On the starter stand, Junior Niles, and with the flags in hand, Eddie Walsh looks the field over and sets them on their way. Green flag is out. We are racing. Field bolts out of turn number 2. 13, Jeff Charlin down the back straightaway, inherits the top spot. Dana Gagnon tries to follow along in second. Gagnon finds the inside line to his liking. 34 wants more, wants the lead in turn 1, but Charlin shuts him down. 07 of Charest in danger of losing a lot of positions on the high side. This track all about momentum, and once you lose it, you're going to the back in a hurry. Andy Field, wheel to wheel off of turn 4. It's Field, give him third. Bobby Nato needs a good run. I believe this team's still searching for their first top 3 of the season. Number 35 moves to 4th in the qualifier. 63, Russ Morse lines up side by side with Charest as he continues to backpedal. Meanwhile, up in front, the inside line has been taken away from Jeff Charlin. Give the lead to Dana Gagnon down the backstretch. 34 to the lead. Meanwhile, Bobby Nato wrestles the bottom groove away from Andy Field, and they'll go side by side for spot 3 at the line. 3 wide action further on back. Frank Ware and Dave Lamprin make minor contact. Both drivers straighten it out as we continue with Russ Morse, the 63 on pit road. Morris, who comes into this race as one of the fastest drivers in this division in the last 3 or 4 races. He's really caught fire, and hopefully not literally, as he hit the pits. 34, Dana Gagnon continues to lead this one. Gagnon with a heap of heat wins this year. Cross flag to the air, 6 down, 6 to go. Jeff Charlin second. Andy Field doing a great job of hanging on the outside. Thought for a moment, or at least for many moments, that Bobby Nato would wrestle the inside line away and then overtake him. But Field has been very stout on the outside groove. Number 88 wants to hang on to 3rd, but has thoughts of going to 2nd. We bring up the momentum factor, and with the new track compound, Andy Field finds it to his liking, runs the outside. That's the most we've seen Andy Field run up on top this year. Bobby Nato has thoughts of 3 wide into turn number 1, but Charlin shuts them both down. Andy Field gets a run in turn number 2. Field down the backstretch, protects 3rd, but goes after spot number 2. Laps winding down, just 3 to go when they hit the start-finish line. This time it's all Dana Gagnon, but look at that battle for 2nd. Young Andy Field, 2nd-generation driver. 2 by 2 as they cross the start-finish line this time. 2nd spot still up for grabs, and here comes Frank Ware. Ware in the Glassmith number 20 makes a bold move from the outside to the inside to overtake Bobby Nato, and he wants 3 wide down the backstretch, but gathers it back up, thinks twice about it, and goes to the inside of Andy Field. White flag out, 1 to go, and here comes Ware. Frank Ware, who is charged from the outside of row number 4 to move up inside the top 5. Give him 3rd down the backstretch. Andy Field still hangs tough. Checkered flag in the air. It's going to be Dana Gagnon, who will get 2nd. Jeff Charlin gets it. Frank Ware 3rd. Andy Field 4th. Bobby Nato, Ron Smith, Scott Dorr, Bill Dixon, Dave Charest, Jim Culprit, Dave Lampert, and Travis Buzzle round out the running order in qualifier number 1. Clyde Hennessy, Beaver Norton. The number 2 is Robert Emery, Sally Girardi in the 77. Then it's the number 16 for Donnie Culprit, Chris Smith to the outside, Donnie Morse. And the number 19 rounds out the running order. Off of turn number 4, green flag is in the air, and we're racing. Opening day feature winner Brian McClure completes the field in the number 19. Down the back straightaway, back up to the lead. A couple of shiny cars battling for the top spot. Dan Wink down low and Larrabee up on top. 1 lap complete. One of the most competitive divisions in all of local short track racing, the Sport Series. And side by side, Jason Larrabee. Here's an interesting stat. When Larrabee has been in the lead this year, he has not been passed. And we're not talking about competition on the racetrack from week in to week out. When Jason Larrabee takes over spot number 1, not one driver in this division has been able to move by him. That's an interesting stat and really a testament to what the 27 team has put together this year. Continues to be Larrabee down the back straightaway in second. Nate Levitt runs in third. Number 5, Chris Warming runs in the top 4 as well. A flashback to last Saturday. The 27 and the 36 finished 1-2 on the racetrack. The difference with the feature race is that Larrabee, as I mentioned, will start at the tail, and Nate Levitt will probably start a few positions ahead of him, quite a few, as, let's see, the number 36 comes into this race knocking at the door of a top 10 run, only 4 points behind 10th place Dan Wink. And when championships are won and lost by single points, of course, the feature races award the most amount of points, but qualifying, or it has been shown year in, year out, that championships are won and lost in the qualifier. Very important to finish well. 53, Dan Wink continues to lead this race. 27, Larrabee follows along in second. If you're making tonight an annual trip, here's what happened last year. Remember, the top 11 would go to the feature, and then we'd run a consolation race. That is not the case this year. There will not be a Sports Series Consi, one of the different rules to 2006. Every driver will make this race as we look towards the 35-lap feature event later on tonight. Talk about championships being won and lost by single points. Dan Wink knows what that is all about. Wink won the 2003 Wildcat Championship by just 1 point. Championship went down to the final turn of the final corner, and Wink came out on top. And interesting to note, in that race, Wink was battling in a pack of cars featuring drivers he was battling for the championship with. 53, 27, and 36 have strung it out now. Top 3 as they go back to turn number 1. White flag out. Wink and Larrabee have pulled away nicely from Nate Levitt. Then there's Chris Warming and Reggie Lehman in the number 71. Mike Landry right at his bumper, but won't get by the Reg. Checkered flag out. 53, 27, 36, 5, and 71, your top 5. Then it's Mike Landry, Clyde Hennessy, Sally Girardi. I believe Beaver Norton was next. Lower point, Bill Dodge Auto Group Pro Series drivers looking for a start. Let's see if they can make it stick this time. Off of turn number 4, green flag is in the air, and Jackie Roussel takes off. 79 and Keith McKinnon left to battle side by side with Josh Cantera down the backstretch. 7 of Kurt Gary right there, and Steve Barry in the low point heat. That's kind of uncharacteristic for the 15. Had a rough couple of weeks and trying to get back in the high point heat coming into this race. Barry still in the top 10 in points, but as things shake out, sits in the back of the low point heat. 2 laps down, and Jackie Roussel shows the way. 3 wide on the front straightaway. Kurt Gary muscles his way to spot number 2, the 7 down the back stretch. surprise there. Steve Berry rides in third spot. Berry, the only driver in Beech Ridge history to win 4 track championships in 4 different divisions. He's won in everything he's run, and he goes to the low side of the 7 of Kurt Gary. The Gorham Sand and Gravel, number 15, to the bottom side and successful. Makes the clean pass on Gary, and they're single file again as they go into turn number 3. Can Berry catch Jackie Roussel? Talked to Jackie's father and crew chief Charlie Roussel on pit road before the race tonight, and he again threw a completely different setup in the car. They have done this the past month or so with varied success. And after coming off 2 6th-place finishes back on the 4th of July weekend, that's where they found the most success. That's the setup they have in the car tonight. The car from the 4th of July weekend. Roussel with a fast race car tonight, but will it be fast enough to hold off Steve Berry? I don't think so. Berry up on the wheel, turn number 3. Steve side by side. Jackie breaks loose and they'll rub up at turn number 4. Give the spot to Steve Berry in turn number 1. Steve cannot shake Jackie Roussel though, and down the back straightaway 15 can't close the deal. Finally does in turn number 3. Jackie Roussel right there, followed by Kurt Gary. Then it's Josh Cantera, Steve Jones, Gary Groves, and Keith McKinnon. Single file, and now Kurt Gary goes after Jackie Roussel. 2 laps to go this time. 15, Steve Berry. 2 laps away from a qualifying win. The race is for second. Kurt Gary, who averages 1 or 2 feature wins this season here at the racetrack. A solid, long-time competitor going against a driver who's just been solid. Jackie Roussel has been at it about as long as Kurt Gary has. White flag out, 1 to go. I'm not sure if Kurt actually thought that was the checkered flag, because he backed out of it big time on the front straightaway last time and jumped back in behind the number 10. Checkered flag out, it's going to be Steve Berry. Number 10, Jackie Roussel second. And creeping across the start-finish line, something to look at, the 7 of Kurt Gary. Had problems on the start-finish line on the white flag lap, and slow again. Just kind of coasted to a top 3 finish. Inside row number 4, current point leader, number 40, the naughty 40, is Dan McKagan. Starting to the outside, welcome home, Alan Tardif in the number 8. Field brings it up to speed. Green flag is in the air, and we are racing. Field shoots through turns number 1 and 2. Steve Carrier easily takes over the top spot, but a side-by-side battle for second. Bob Gahan will push his nose to the front of that battle, but here comes Bob Bilodeau on the inside. Another one of those full-speed pace laps we see quite often in the Bill Dodge Auto Group Pro Series, and they continue that formation in turn number 3. It's Bob Bilodeau breaking it loose a little bit in turn 4. Nothing major though, didn't break really out of shape, just bobbled it, but you can see him saw the wheel off of turn number 4. That's 30 years of racing experience versus 37. And when you throw Bobby Babb in there, let's try to add that up. Babb's in his 27th season, Bilodeau in his 30th, and Gahan in his 37th. Wow. A lot of racing history between those 3 drivers. The 9, the 4, and the 50. Single file out the corner. One driver to watch, and we talk about championships being won and lost in qualifying. Look at the naughty 40 for Dan McKeck from the back of the pack and moving up a couple of spots, and more importantly, a couple of cars ahead of Trevor Sanborn. Remember, the 40 comes into this night with a 7-point advantage over the 29. If he can pick up a few points here, a few points there, just padding his lead. Again, he's not the only driver that McKeag has to worry about. The other drivers he has to worry about are in front of him. Bobby Babb and Billy Rogers. Well, he's past Billy Rogers in the 53, so has to worry about Babb now in the number 4. Again, the top 4, 17 points apart coming into this night. It's all Steve Carrier. Carrier's actually struggled the past couple of weeks. Came out of the gate very fast in 2006, picking up a couple of wins real quick, and it's not like he, I think, has dropped off more. It's just the other drivers have picked up. And his finishes have suffered as a result. Steve Carrier trying to get his season back on track finish-wise. Off of turn number 4, he leads the pack. And now Bobby Babb closing in on spot number 2 is Alan Tardiff with problems. I think Tardiff's just out in a testing session. Not sure if that's his past car or not, but number 8 hits pit road. 83, Steve Carrier, still your leader. 2 to go. And now Trevor Sanborn. Sanborn coming alive on the high side, even though it's a battle further on back in the pack. Point implications between the 40, the 29, and the 53. Those are 3 of your top 4 drivers in the championship battle. White flag out, 1 lap to go. It's Carrier down the backstretch, still single file all the way around until you get back to the battle against with the point leaders. 40 down low, 29 up high, checkered flag in the air. It's going to be Carrier, Billadu, Babb, Gahan, and it's going to be the 40 of McKeag by a car length over Trevor Sanborn and Billy Rogers. And that's how they'll run a qualifier number 2 for the Bill Dodge Auto Group Pro Series.
Richard Savory drives car number 21. He's a second-generation driver. We've got Ryan Priest out of Kensington, Connecticut, in the number 44, and Tom Abley, also out of Connecticut, in car number 32. John Spence Jr. is the flagman for the True Value Modifieds, rolling thunder down the front straightaway. Jack Bateman's got the low line through that first and second turn. Rookie second-year driver Tom Abley goes around in car number 32. John Spence is trying to wave him to get going, and we're going to go yellow. So the second-year driver Tom Abley in car number 32 out of Norwich, Connecticut, the Connecticut Defenders. Crystal Auto Body Camaro Signs Monte Carlo. Winners to date this year have been Kirk Alexander. He's been a winner at Monadnock and Lee. Hinckley, as I mentioned, the yellow 06 at the Canaan Fair Speedway. Grigas at Waterford, Connecticut. Tony Ricky, who is here tonight as John waves him out of the turn. The green flag is back in the air. And the Ground Pounders Rolling Thunder roars into turn number 1 here at Beech Ridge Motor Speedway. Eddie Dockenhausen and the 36-year veteran Jack Bateman take the field in the turn number 3. Bobby Grigas now gets into it. He gets into the back of Dockenhausen. He lifted to let him correct his racer. And the first 2 cars roar down the front straightaway into that first turn. Further back of the field, you've got Ryan Priest and Tom Abley going side by side. But they followed into a nose-to-tail formation through the third and fourth quarter. Here's Grigas now coming right up behind the number 48 Dockenhausen. So we got a good 3-car battle going on up the front of the pack there. Dwight Jarvis, the point leader, runs in 4th spot. Hinckley is in the 06. And Richard Savory, second-generation driver. His dad, George Savory, a very successful racer throughout New England in his racing career. Savory is in the number 21, a number that adorned the side of George Savory's racers for many, many years. Of course, last year, for many of these guys, it was the first time they'd ever been to the Beech Ridge Motor Speedway. It was a learning process when we made our first trip here to the Ridge last year. But a lot of them are very confident coming in here tonight. Dockenhausen right in behind Jack Bateman, the Canaan, New Hampshire racer. Presented by JRB Transportation. We are halfway. 6 laps down, 6 laps to go. We're taking the top 6 out of the qualifying heats here for the True Value Modified Racing Series. The ground pounding modifieds roar down the back straightaway. Dwight Jarvis is in 4th spot. Hinckley is in 5th. Savory is in that 6th spot in car number 21. Now you get a battle for the 2nd spot. Grigas looked to the inside of Dockenhausen out here in the front straightaway. And Eddie was able to hold him off going into turn number 1. Ryan Priest, the young Charger out of Kensington, Connecticut, comes right up behind Richard Savory. The battle rages on for the number 2 spot as Grigas looked to the inside again on Dockenhausen. And Eddie D was able to shut him out in the turn number 1 once again. 15-16 on the stopwatch here in the tower for the race leader, Jack Bateman. In the Jack's Racing Engines number 17. To give you an indication of how fast these modifieds and their 600 horsepower automobiles get around the Beech Ridge Motor Speedway. All righty, we got 2 laps to go at the stripe. Two to go for Jack Bateman. Eddie Dockenhausen, Bobby Grigas, your top three. Dwight Jarvis, Les Hinckley, Richard Savory. In that sixth and final qualifying spot in this one here. The white flag is going to fly. It is in the air for Bateman. As Ryan Priest comes right up behind Richard Savory in the Superior Oil, number 21. He elects the low line going into turn number 1. And Priest follows him down the back straightaway in car number 44. The checkered flag from flagman John Spence for Jack Bateman picking up the win in heat number 1. I didn't know that. Down the back straightaway, you've got Rob Goodenough out in front in car 01. Carl Fredrickson is in the second spot. Again, we're checking the top 6 here. In the number 77, the driver is Bruce Batchelder, the veteran, as they roar through that second turn and down the back straightaway. Into turn number 3, rookie Shumway on the outside of the number 41 of Fredrickson, and Brian Shumway moves right into the number 2 spot in that number 5. Mark Cole, limited New Hampshire driver, making his first start with the True Value Modified Tour, is in the Artie Steigels number 66, and he roars into the 3rd spot. Cole in the 3rd in the number 66. Here comes Kevin Konopka, the Meriden, Connecticut driver in car number 50, as the flags are crossed out here on the front straightaway. Halfway, 6 down, 6 to go. Rob Goodenough out in front. Shumway trying to catch him. Interesting story there. Goodenough is a longtime pro stock racer at the Monadnock Speedway. Shumway comes into the modifieds from the pro stock division at the Monadnock Speedway. So you've got the veteran pro stock around in front. You've got the young charger from the pro stock division running in 2nd spot. And I'll tell you, Shumway's looking very comfortable in a modified. So he comes right up behind Rob Goodenough. These two guys have chased each other on many a Saturday night in the pro stocks at the Monadnock Speedway over in western New Hampshire. And they run 1-2 into turn number 3. Mark Cole's impressive in car number 66. Side-by-side battle going on for 4th spot. And the Turcotte Motorsports Lou Michelinas driven number 40 car goes into the 4th spot. We want to keep an eye on the 6th spot now. That's where the battle is. And that's an all-main battle going on there as they come down the front straightaway with 2 laps to go. Ricky and Pinkham. Now they go through that 1st and 2nd turn. Ricky gets by Pinkham, shakes him free a bit, but here comes David to the inside. White flag is out as they roar off turn number 4 behind Konopka. Konopka right down the center of the front straightaway here. Here's Ricky going to the outside of the bulkhead, excavating number 4 car on the hammer, down the back straightaway. Runs the high side into turn number 3. Pinkham watches from the Casella 25. The checkers are out, and Rob Goodenough will win it. Shumway will go 2nd, 3rd will go to Cole, Michelinas, Konopka, and Ricky in car number 4. Andy Seiss is in car number 70, a recent winner at the Monadnock Speedway. He was the champion this past winter down at the New Smyrna, Florida Speedway. That 9 nights of racing they run for the modified division. As we get ready to go green, John Spence calls him out of the corner. Green flag is in the air, and Jimmy Nolan. Whoa, we got Mike Douglas Jr. in trouble out here. The Douglas Automotive, Tisdale Transmission, skip towing number 23. And the 2nd generation driver is going to draw the caution flag in that number 23. Marc-Andre Cliche driving car number 8. The number 20 is the veteran Rusty Ball from Keene, New Hampshire. And we've got the number 42, Josh Courier, in the lineup too. The green flag is back in the air. And we go racing in heat number 3 here at the Ridge for the ground-pounding modifieds of the True Value Modified Racing Series. They are side by side as they rumble down that back straightaway. The veteran Johnny Bush and Jimmy Dolan, a winner at Lee, USA, last year in the Oktoberfest program. Picked up his first career win with the True Value mods. He is right now challenging Dale Ivanchin for the number 2 spot as Ivanchin filled the hole nicely coming off turn number 2, going to the bottom of the back straightaway and moving up into that second spot. Jimmy Kuhn, he's second in the point standings in the modern auto body. Number 72 challenges now for the 3rd spot, as that's the fast way around here at the Ridge for the modifieds on the bottom here. Andy Seiss watches from the Rockingham boat number 70. Jimmy Dolan forced to work the outside in turn number 1. Car number 69, he and Kuhn. Couple of Jimmys battle to get out for the number 3 spot here in heat number 3. Again, the top 6 will make it into the 100 lap event here tonight at the Ridge. Andy Seiss right up tight behind Kuhn as they work into turn number 1. The veteran Johnny Bush brings that field down the back straightaway. Look at the battle going on for the 3rd spot. Andy Seiss and Dolan side by side as they work 3. Out of turn number 4, John McKennedy is in that number 73, watching it all, lying ahead of him as they work into turn number 1. Seiss and Jimmy Dolan hooked up in a battle down the back straightaway. John Spence is going to cross the flags out here on the flag stand. We are halfway. 600 horsepower modifieds. Phil Smith, the noted motorsports journalist, often referred to this division as the men that live by the grace of God and 600 horsepower. You strap onto one of these things, you do live by the grace of God. Andy Seiss right there with Dolan all over the backside of Jimmy Kuhn. Those are your top 5. Here's McKennedy now in car number 73, trying to get into the dance here as they come off turn number 4. Johnny Bush continues to set the pace. Dale Ivanchin, Jimmy Kuhn in the 3rd spot, Seiss 4th, and then the number 69, Jimmy Dolan's in 5th spot. That 6th and final hot qualifying spot is the number 73 for Jonathan McKennedy. The 19-year-old Charger out of Chelmsford, Massachusetts is in that 6th spot. Here's the 2 to go sign from the flag stand. 2 to go for Johnny Bush. Look at Kuhn right up behind Ivanchin as they work through the 1st and 2nd turn. A car length separates the 2 down the back straightaway. The white flag is in the air, fans. 1 more lap to go in heat number 3 for the veteran, the big guy from Huntington Station, Long Island, New York. Showing the field around the 3rd mile Beech Ridge Motor Speedway in heat number 3. In that 3rd spot, it's Kuhn, Seiss, Dolan, and the 73 checkers are out. It'll be Bush winning it, and there's your top 6 right there. 2nd going to Dale Ivanchin, 3rd to Kuhn, 4th to Seiss, 5th to Jimmy Dolan, and Jonathan McKennedy will nail down that 6th spot in car number 73.
Inside row number 3, it's the number 3, Jesse Tolman out of Old Orchard Beach. Number 27 starts next for Scott Grant. To the outside of him, the number 11 is Daryl DeWitt. On the starter stand, Junior Niles looks the field over. Number 85, Glenn Bradbury, will round out the running order as we get set for the start off of turn number 4. Green is in the air, and we are racing. Jay Moore's right on the start as Darren Day loses time on the outside, and the number 37, 85, Glenn Bradbury right there. Those 2 want the same race line, although the 37 gives it up a little bit, and Bradbury, who started in the, he started on the outside of row number 3, already up into spot number 2, with just 1 lap complete. 37 down the backstretch, rides in 3rd, Daryl DeWitt up to 4th, followed by Scott Grant, and the number 3 for Jesse Tolman. Wildcat division certainly is an accordion-like division. Some years there are just so many competitors. Other times we won't need to run a semi-feature, and this season we've grown back into that. Normally a 15-lap affair in the 14 of Jay Moore's leads it back into turn 1. 85 of Bradbury, 37 really loose in the corners, hanging on to it though. But look at Jesse Tolman like a rocket ship down the backstretch. Number 3 passes a couple of cars, goes after the number 37 ride. Jay Moore's up in front, followed by Bradbury. 5 laps into this race. With the number 3 of Jesse Tolman, this time by, cross flags are in the air. And Jesse Tolman could be the class of the field tonight from the back of the pack. Tolman pipes up the outside, and number 3 rides to second. 14 of Jay Moore's off of turn number 2 has led this one since the drop of the green flag, but now he has his fiercest challenge of the night in the name of Jesse Tolman. Tolman side by side for the lead. They'll drag it back to the start-finish line. Give the spot to Tolman in turn number 1. 3 down the back straightaway, finally clears out the number 14. Single file down the back stretch, and from the back to the front, from almost worst to first, number 3, Tolman, off a turn 4, your leader. Single file pretty much all the way around the racetrack as Jesse Tolman comfortable in the lead and not looking back. I think it's going to take either a spin or something on the number 3 to prevent him from going to Pepsi Victory Lane tonight. And Jesse Tolman's one of the bubble drivers. He's within the distance of getting into the main event with just a win in the semi-feature. It's not like will have to rattle off 3 or 4 straight wins to even be eligible or have enough points to get into the main event. This win should do it for him. Now, obviously, he will not be in the main event for tonight, but come next Saturday night, yeah, Jesse Tolman will probably be in the main event, depending how the points shake out with the main event tonight. White flag out, 1 to go. It's all number 3. '85 of Bradbury leads Darren Dane. Scott Gray with Darrell DeWitt down the back straightaway. Checkered flag in the air, and it's all number 3. A dominating performance, Jesse Tolman. Three-year winner, followed by Jay Moore's. And that will finish things off for the Wildcat semi-feature event, the Road Runners. Coming up next. This will be the only time we see the Road Runners tonight. Their feature race, a 25-lap feature race. Extra distance for this division tonight. Will it have a factor in the outcome? Green flag is in the air. Road Runners are underway. Number 38, Steve Bennett down the back straightaway. Bennett in search of his first career NASCAR night win in the Road Runners. He has a son that races on Thursday Thunder. His wife raced on Thursday Thunder till she rolled her car over about 6 or 7 times at once. That kind of did her in for the season. 38 down the back straightaway, still your leader. Connolly has jumped into second, though. Rocco Rispera to third. Couple of drivers to watch in the back of the pack. It's the 31 of Brackett. Look at the number 47 on the high side, going 3 wide. Tim Caswell. Caswell has easily been the hottest driver in this division for the past 6 weeks. As a matter of fact, Caswell has rolled off 4 feature wins in the last month and a half. Wow, and after the True Value Modified Series, this is quite a quiet division. It's like night and day. It's almost like when you walk out of a rock concert. You have that big buzz in your head. You know, you're driving home and the radio's cranked all the way up. Then you get in the car the next day, you're like, what was I thinking? Side by side down the backstretch, battle is for second, Paul Lunn, and we're looking at 3 wide for second. Here comes Kelsey Babb on the inside. Almost made it 4 wide. Timmy Caswell still has thoughts of that, and down to the turn number 1, it's Babb in second spot. Kelsey Babb in a car that won the championship last year. Different driver, though. That was Jamie Heath. The 91 runs just outside the top 5 now, and Kelsey Babb, a power move down the backstretch that last time. Kelsey, the daughter of four-time Pro Series champion Bobby Babb. Her brother Bradley runs it, the Whiz Kids. And it was her grandpa that started the Babb name here. Beech Ridge, a two-time track champion, Bob Sr., who's here tonight watching his granddaughter possibly take another win. She picked up her first career win a couple of months ago. Pretty early in the season for Kelsey Babb. And the way she's running tonight just might make it back to victory lane. Kelsey Babb won her first race just before Memorial Day and has been solid ever since, but has not been able to break through. It's been the Tim Caswell show the last 4 or 5 weeks. And now Kelsey Babb goes to the high side of Steve Bennett. Battle for the lead. Turn number 3. Silver car on the inside. It's Babb, the third-generation driver, on the high side, and they give each other plenty of room as they work their way into turn number 1. Bennett breaks loose in the rear, gathers it back up, stays out of Babb's way, and down the back straightaway, Kelsey Babb puts the number 4 into the lead. Kelsey Babb, 16 years of age and going to the lead in turn number 1. Steve Bennett in danger of losing second spot now. Here comes Tim Caswell on the high side. 47, as I mentioned, 4 wins this season. And they have all come in the last month and a half. Caswell, the most recent feature winner. You saw him start at the back of the pack. That was not a problem for Timmy. We'll see his brother Brian run in the Wildcat main event a little bit later on tonight. 47 is tracking down that, though. Still plenty of time. Remember, an extra distance race for the road runners tonight. Instead of going their normal 20, they will run a 25-lap feature event to balance out the fact that we are not running qualifying races for the road runners tonight. 47 and 4. They appear to be evenly matched power-wise, but what will happen with the handling? Halfway down, here comes Tim Caswell. Babb running a smart race down low, hitting all the marks, running right down on the speed bumps. She will not give up the bottom groove. If Caswell's going to get around, it will have to be up high. And here comes the 47. Turn number 3, Caswell can't get to the bumper. You see how rapidly he closed in. Closing's one thing, passing something entirely different. You can close on anybody, but can you pass? Caswell has passed everyone with the exception of Kelsey Babb. Down the backstretch, does get a good run off of turn 2, and Kelsey will hold him in the 3. They're coming up on some lap traffic. They'll come up on the lap 99 of Dave Stone. And many times this season, we have seen lap cars wreak havoc with the leaders and certainly make a difference in the outcome of the race. Now Tim Caswell gets a good run in the turn number 3, almost draws it up even. Caswell running in. Will the 47 use the 99 as the pick? Kelsey Babb wants to get around the 99 before they get to him, but Caswell's right there. And number 47 goes to the lead. Caswell uses the 99 as the pick. Remember, though, an extra distance race. Kelsey will have time to get to the back bumper of the 47 of Caswell. Normally, there would be 2 laps to go. Instead, we have 7. With clear sailing ahead of them, it is down to these 2 drivers, the 47, the 4. Long way back to Paul Lund, who's also closing, but I don't think he'll have enough time. Without the aid of a caution flag, don't think Lund will get to the back bumper of either Babb or Caswell. 3 wide, turn 1, further on back. Good battle. I think that, let's see, that's for 4th. Jamie Heath, number 38 of Steve Bennett and Rocco Risbera fight it out. Meanwhile, up in front, Kelsey Babb has caught the leader. Don't count out Kelsey Babb. Had this been a normal night, that would have been the last lap, but a final night, sort of overtime for the Roadrunners. Let's see if it makes a difference. 47, 4, single file, turn number 4. One of the biggest moments of 2006 in any of the nights we race here, whether it be Car Wars, Thursday Thunder, or NASCAR night, had to be that night, May 20th, a night that Bobby Babb won on, also a night that his daughter won her first major NASCAR night race. She's won a number of go-kart races over the years, but this year stepping up into the Road Runners. Falls about 2 car lengths off the back bumper, this time by 2 laps to go. Field continues to run single file. The leader, battle for the lead really has, well, I was about to say subsided, but just as that was about to come out of my mouth, and it eventually did, Kelsey Babb closed right to the back bumper of Tim Caswell. Got a great run going into turn number 3. Can she do anything with it? Can she build up some momentum? Final lap, turn number 2 where the leaders are at. Caswell searching for his 5th win of the year, and here comes Kelsey Babb. Babb will take us down to the high side. This is her last shot. Checkered flag in the air. Caswell holds it down, and the 47 picks up the win. Kelsey Babb, 2nd, Paul Lunt, 3rd, 4th to Sean Brackett, 5th to the 91 of Jamie Eaton, number 7, Rocco Rispera, Steve Bennett, Ed Connolly, Dave Stone, 1 lap down, and the number 2 of Matt Harmon. Get your 50-50 tickets from our sales center behind the flag stand or from our roamers working or walking up and down the grandstands. Let's go trackside to Pepsi Victory Lane for the first time tonight, where you'll find Mr. Dave Sturgis.
Thank you, Andy. Welcome, your Road Runner feature winner, Tim Caswell, your winner. Tim, congratulations and welcome to Pepsi Victory Lane.
Thank you. It's been a good season, what can I say? You know, first of all, I gotta thank my sponsors, Oakland, Still Truck Buzz, MMA Used Cars. I'd like to thank my father, my mother, been a big help, my brother, pit crew, and you know, I just raced with a good bunch of guys. You know, they're rich and clean. What more can you have?
Got a pretty good winning percentage. Last 7 times out, you've been here your 5th time, your 5th feature win tonight.
So all my tires, you know, I got a sponsor to buy me some new tires, and that's where I've been since.
Congratulations on Irving Oil Night. Rob is here with the first place presentation.
Tim, awesome race tonight. Congratulations to you. Awesome race. I hope everyone's enjoying their night out here. And this one's for you, my friend.
Thanks a lot, appreciate it.
Ladies and gentlemen, he picks up his 5th trophy of the year, and your feature winner, Tim Caswell.
Tied for 3rd in the point standings with the driver. He starts beside Ronnie Corbeil. Then it's the number 90, Richard Randall. Your current point leader is the number 45, Cole Watson. Then the 41, Steve Benacasa, Robert Williams, Mike Rowe, the most recent winner, and Lewis Anderson in the number 81. 35 laps the distance. I don't think this is going to last. False start. Randy Snow's happy about that. Mike Dieter doesn't know that yet. Now they figure it out. Let's see if we can really get a green and stick to it this time. We're underway. Field races through turns 1 and 2. The number 17 Travis does a great job of hanging on to it down the backstretch. Richard Olin Jr. jumps to spot number 2. Mike Dearden to 3rd, and here comes the number 40 of Lyman McKay. Lyman jumps up into spot number 3. Talked to him on pit road this afternoon. Extremely excited with the way that race car is handling. They have finally hit on it, and for a guy that's in the thick of the point race, he needs a good finish tonight. McKay works through corners number 1 and 2, single file for the top 3, and then you go back to the battle for 4th. It's Sean Gilpatrick on the top side of Mike Dearden. Dearden, the pole sitter, falling back through the running order, and this could spell bad news if they cannot pry him off the bottom groove. Good news, though, for Buddy Minot, David Wilds, Ronnie Corbeil, and point leader Cole Watson. The outside line would become the preferred line. Down the back straightaway, Minot sideways, gathers it back up, but will lose a couple of spots, or will he? Andy Ayers, and oh, Minot made contact right in front of David Wilds. Andy Ayers hits the wall. Wilds continues, tough break for the Team Orange, number 29. Meanwhile, down the back straightaway, James Travis and the number 2 of Richard Olin will go side by side for the lead. We will stay green. Great racing up in front off of turn number 2. 17 has led the first 5 laps of this race, but now Richard Olin jumps into the lead. Here comes the number 2. As the sun sets, you can really see the drivers work the steering wheels off of turn 4. Olin, what a dogfight down the backstretch. A half car length on top of Travis. Line of McKay right there as they come up on the number 29. David Wilds going down 1 lap. Tough break for the 29. But Wilds, the long time and solid competitor that he is, stays out of the leader's way. That gives the number 2 sole possession of the lead and trouble down the back straightaway. Scott Berry backs up in front of everybody. Lewis Anderson involved. Caution is out. Yellow flag flies, and for the most part, the drivers adhere to it. So Rowe very confident, and only 7 laps into this race, has just broken inside the top 10. Keep an eye on the number 4, Scott Berry returns. Off of turn number 4, the number 2 of Richard Olin will lead him to the start-finish line. Green flag is out. Off of turn number 2, car number 2, your leader, James Travis, and here comes Lavin McKay. Do we see 3 wide for second? Not yet, but give us a lap. Off of turn 2, Lavin McKay rolls to spot number 2. That is short-lived. James Travis strong on the high side, but the old man being pushed by the Orange Crush, though 66 wants a piece of the action. Mike Rowe goes 3 wide. Moving up the middle goes around Brian Caswell. But the number 90 of Richard Randall, look at those drivers. Packed in like sardines through 1 and 2. While it continues to be the number 2 and the number 40, look at the battle for 4th on back. Ronnie Corbeil, Sean Gilpatrick, Richard Randall, James Travis, Mike Rowe, Steve Benacasa. Benacasa has come from the back of the pack. Lewis Anderson trying to move up 2. Look at Lou with a 3 wide move. That's not going to work for Mike Rowe. Rowe around and around. Tough break for last week's feature winner. Rowe better get moving. These drivers have not been able to comprehend the check of the caution flag tonight, and this could be very. Well, let's see. Everybody gets through okay. Well, they're learning. They got it. Good enough. The old touring series did, and we're going to run green flag laps. Sometimes, when you have yellow fever, you can end up running a caution. Well, you can run 37 laps on a caution. Set for a restart, this time off of turn number 4. Richard Olin, but look who gets the jump. The old man gets the jump. Lyman McKay. Through turns number 1 and 2, the 2-time Wildcat champion battles. Car number 2 for the lead. Richard Olin fights back on the inside as they come down to complete lap number 12, leaning on each other. Still side by side off the corner, and the Orange Crush has moved in. Don't count out Steve Coffin for the victory tonight. Here comes the naughty of Richard Randall, a worthy foe as well, and Sean Gilpatrick 2x2. If you are a fabricator, you are going to have a very busy week if you service the Wildcats. Prepare to order multiple doors. Number 2, your leader. Look at the 66, or what used to be the 66. Steve Coffin muscles his way to spot number 2, last year's championship car, driven by Bobby Nato, who's now moved up into the Sports Series. The One Ride moves to spot number 2. Also, keep your eye on the number 90 of Richard Randall down the back straightaway. He jumps into third as McKeag loses time on the high side. Here comes Gilpatrick down low. And don't look now, but Lewis Anderson goes 3 wide. Where did Lewis come from? Lewis, who padded his resume by winning the Demolition Derby in Car Wars last night, moves up inside the top 10, a solid top 10 run for the 81, closing in on the 41. Great racing action with the Wildcats, and it's far from over. We are only halfway through this event, and Richard Olin Jr. leads the pack off of turn 4. Randall's right there. The last time we saw the number 2 in Victory Lane, actually, the last time we saw Richard Olin Jr. in Victory Lane, it was not with the number 2. It was in the number 69 truck. He had just become a father for the first time that week. And Olin, who has taken some time off, now back full force in 2006, and what a moment this must be for him. Leading Richard Randall. Randall trying to pick up some points tonight on Cole Watson as, boy, tough night for Team Orange. 75 Mike Dearden will hit pit road. We got to go back to, let's see, 51 weeks for a Richard Randall appearance in Pepsi Victory Lane. Go back to August 13th, 2005. The last time we saw the Bill Wright Foundation's number 90. It's been an uncharacteristically long dry spell for the number 90. A driver who once pulled off 5 feature wins as recently as 2004. Randall in the number 90 is all about consistency this year. And in the season where he won 5 or 4 races, he only finished back about 6th or 7th in the point standings. This year, it's all about top 5 finishes, not necessarily wins, but Randall wants a win tonight, has a shot at it, and Randall has developed amazing consistency. The number 90, the only driver, one of the only drivers that really have a shot at the championship besides Cole Watson. Comes into this race 40 points in arrears, can certainly knock a few off that total tonight. Number 90. Randall sits to the high side. Sean Gilpatrick right there. Number 66, Steve Coffin. And Lewis Anderson has broken into the top 5. Anderson wants the top group on the 66. 10 laps to go. If you are new to Beech Ridge, we pointed this out earlier. This is a very momentum-based racetrack. If you can get on the outside and click up a few laps and build up some momentum, it's going to pay off in the long run. But for right now, Richard Randall is struggling, trying to find that momentum. Randall dares to go to the high side, and sometimes it is a dare when your car is not going to work. It could be catastrophic in your finish, as we're starting to see here. We saw that with Lionel McKeag earlier. McKeag was on the outside in the lead, and now sits in 7th position. Make that 8th. And they're 3 wide, almost going into turn number 1. 66 of Steve Coffin, 2 by 2 with a 90. The battle is for 3rd, and Richard Olin has shaken off his stiffest challenge yet from Randall. Let's hit the Wayback Machine for Richard Olin Jr. His first full season in the Wildcats. And you gotta go back I think, until 2003. Yeah, 2003, Labor Day weekend, the last time well, not the number 2, he was 69 at the time. But the last time for Richard Olin in Pepsi Victory Lane, he is 5 laps away from it and 5 laps away from his first Wildcat win. Sean Gilpatrick, the only driver with a legitimate shot at him, as the race is now for 3rd. Steve Coffin down the backstretch, but look at the bound of the 4th. Here comes Lewis to the inside of Richard Randall. Lewis slides up the racetrack, and here comes Cole Watson, 3 wide. Also 3 wide further on back, Lavin McKay trying to regain some ground, goes lower on Steve Benacasa. He's still in the fight. Sean Gilpatrick at the back bumper of the number 2 of Richard Olin. Trying to get the 2 out of shape and pry the inside line away. Gilpatrick knows he probably won't be able to drive around him, but if he can loosen him up into the corners and slide to the low side, he probably can win this race. And with 2 laps to go, does the Orange Crush have anything to say about this? Here comes Steve Coffin. It's gonna get wild with 2 to go. Richard Olin down the backstretch, trying to pick up his first win since 2003. Sean Gilpatrick going after his first NASCAR night win. And Steve Coffin on the inside. White flag out, and 17 seconds will decide it. 2:83.66. The calm before the storm. Single file formation down the backstretch. Point leader Cole Watson has come to 4th, and Lewis Anderson in 5th. Checkered flag out. It's going to be number 2, Richard Olin Jr., your winner. Sean Gilpatrick comes so close to picking up his first win. Steve Coffin has a good points night too. The 66 rides in 3rd. Cole Watson missing a door, but still picks up a top 5 and will pad his points lead even more on the number 90 of Richard Randall. What a night for Watson. Same thing with Lewis Anderson to bounce back. Let's go trackside to Dave Sturgis.
Ladies and gentlemen, a big Beech Ridge round of applause for tonight's Wildcat winner. Welcome, Richard Olin Jr., your winner. Richard, congratulations and welcome to Victory Lane.
Thank you.
Nice strong performance out there in the number 2 Wildcat, getting your feet wet here in Pepsi Victory Lane for the first time.
Yeah, it feels good. It's been a few years since I've been to Victory Lane. Last time was in the trucks, and we just had a real bad year all year. It seems like we do good, and something would happen. We get in a wreck or we blow a motor or something. But I had a feeling today, and it came to me. So I'm real proud about that. I'd like to thank all the pit crew, all my fans that sit in the stands. Thanks for coming out. And I want to thank Olin Recycling, JSR Services, LPW Home Improvements, great sponsors. They all stick by me, and it's good to be here.
Congratulations on your first NASCAR night feature win on Irving Oil Night, and Rob is here with the first place presentation.
Richard, great race. It's a great night for the races. Had some good bump and run out there. Congratulations to you.
Thank you very much. I gotta say, thanks a lot to my future wife. We're gonna be getting married in a couple weeks. She's been sticking by me through all the time it takes to put it into this. I just want to tell her I love her, and thanks a lot.
Ladies and gentlemen, your Wildcat feature winner, it's Richard Olin Jr., your winner.
A chance to qualify for tonight's 100-lap race. We are going to take 4 cars from this consolation event. 15 laps will be the distance. The Shaker Valley Auto safety vehicles in the infield. The green flag is in the air. David Pinkham, a winner a year ago here at the Ridge, jumps out in front. In the Casella, number 25. I should point out, that is not the same car that he won with here last year. That is a new car for Casella this year. That is Pinkham's first time in the car here tonight at Beech Ridge Motor Speedway. Connecticut driver Ryan Priest, a regular at the Waterford, Connecticut Speed Bowl, is running in the second spot in car number 44. Tom Abely is in the number 32, another Connecticut driver. And Carl Fredrickson is in the number 41. Marc-Andre Cliche is right behind him in the number 8. Again, we're taking the top 4 to get into the 100-lap event, so you will want to keep an eye on car number 41, car number 8, and Mike Douglas Jr. in car number 23. 15.31 on the stopwatch here with Bruce Elder in the tower for your race leader, David Pinkham, as Ryan Priest attempts to reel him in as they work off turn number 4. Marc-Andre Cliche started out this season with the True Value Modified Racing Series in car number 8. We haven't seen him for several shows because he is a star in Canada. He runs in those late model series events up in Quebec, Canada, and runs very, very well up there. 15.24 is your lap on the number 25 for David Pinkham, trying to get into this 100-lap race and defend his title here tonight at the Ridge. But Marc-Andre Cliche coming back to the tour tonight, and he's trying to get into this show here, catching up to Carl Fredrickson. A lot of these drivers not here ever in their careers. We are halfway out here in the front straightaway as lap number 7 is clicked up onto the infield scoreboard lap counter. Cliche has never been here. Priest has never been here. Courier in the 42 and Buck Yackley in the former Kirk Alexander car in the back end of the field in car number 71. Pinkham, the class of the field in this consolation round. We should point out that Kirk Alexander, you obviously have noted, is not here tonight. He was involved in a heavy crash last Saturday night at the Monadnock Speedway. He and Chris Wenzel, another one of our veteran regulars, got together at Monadnock, and their cars were so damaged that it put them on the sidelines, and that's the reason why they're not here tonight. 5 laps to go. 5 to go for the veteran David Pinkham. The Buxton, Maine driver, trying to get into the 100-lap race here. Ryan Priest, the young Charger from Kensington, Connecticut, holding on to that solid second spot run. In car number 44, Tom Abely, another Connecticut driver, youngster out of Norwich, Connecticut. In the Connecticut Defenders number 32 car, and Carl Fredrickson right now in that hot spot, but pulls away from Marc-Andre Cliche as Mike Douglas Jr. comes right up behind him in turn number 3. Next time around, they're going to get the 2 to go sign. John Spence shows it to them now, and to David Pinkham as they come off the turn. 2 laps to go. Last 2 times around in the consolation event to establish the starting lineup for tonight's 100-lap race for the True Value Modified Racing Series, the Rolling Thunder, the Ground Pounders. White flag out, 1 more lap to go. The Roscoe Racing, Gary Casella, number 25 car, with David Pinkham from nearby Buxton, Maine, ready to bring it home and score the win in the consolation round. And Pinkham will get into the 100-lap of tonight as he scores the win. Priest goes second. Third will go to Tom Abely. And the 4th and final qualifying spot will go to Fremont, New Hampshire's Carl Fredrickson in the Speedway Illustrated number 41.
40 of Michael Landry, 8 of Clyde Hennessy, 77 of Sally Girardi. Beaver Norton, last year's champion, way out back. 35 laps the distance. Dana Gagnon will lead him off the start, or off the turn number 4 to the start-finish line. Green flag is out. Gagnon from the inside of the front row, number 34, down the back straightaway into the lead. Frank Ware moves to second. 35, Bobby Nato down low, give him third. Russ Morse gets out of shape in turn 1, almost drives up into Dave Lampert in the 21. They stay side by side for about 10th spot. Meanwhile, up in front, here comes Frank Ware. 3 wide, further on back. Ron Smith second position, but Frank Ware in the number 20, powered by the outside, or powered by on the outside, and now leads this race. '53 of Dan Wink all by himself, just outside the top 5, but he might have company in a hurry. Here comes Bill Dixon. A season of frustration for your leader could really turn around tonight. Frank Ware came into this season without any expectations. That's why he did not shop for sponsors. He didn't know if he wanted to run the entire year. Threw a car together and has had mixed results this year. A fast race car, but involved in many incidents not of his doing. And the number 20 trying to turn things around, leading this race. 7 laps on the scoreboard this time. Dana Gagnon has broken away from Bobby Nato. Long way back to 3rd place, and it's Andy Field, who seems to be permanently etched in 4th tonight, no matter if it's a qualifying race or a feature. Dan Wink down low on Ron Smith. That will be for spot number 6. Dan Wink to 6th. Keep an eye on your top point runners. Chris Smith comes into this race 4 points behind Donnie Morse. Morse in the 75 having a hard time making his way to the front too. Another driver to watch who's not involved in the point battle, but very fun to watch no matter what he does on the racetrack, whether he's in a point battle or not. The 19, the winner on opening day, that's Brian McClure. He has rocketed from the back of the pack to split the field in half, and we're not even 10 laps into this race. Keep an eye on the number 19 as he makes his way through the field. Inside line, the way to go. 19 moving up nicely. He's bringing Culprit with him. Donnie Culprit had the point lead. One of 3 drivers who have shared the point lead or have had the point lead in the last 5 races. Amazing what this division does week in and week out. Robert Emery moving up, Bill Dixon losing time on the outside as the field streaks out just a little bit for the first time tonight. It took them 12 laps to do so. 20 of Frank Ware, Dana Gagnon rides in 2nd, long way back to 3rd for Bobby Nato. Andy Field runs in 4th, followed by Scott Dorr. They had some major problems in practice, but as it turns out, a few parts breaking on the race car are exactly what they needed to figure out what was wrong with it. They have struggled the last couple of races. Scott, who has been very consistent this year, has been off the past couple of weeks. They found out why. They were totally missing the setup. There were a few parts that weren't supposed to be there or weren't intentionally there. And they had deviated from the setup, but are back to where they were 3 weeks ago. And it's showing. The number 60 rockets to spot number 4. Tries to get around Andy Field in turn number 1. 20, 34, 35, your top 3. But it's getting interesting for 4th on back, and actually for 3rd, Scott Dorr is pressuring Bobby Nato. Off of turn number 4, 60's right there, and Andy Field losing time on the high side. Field in the number 88 being pressured by Dan Wink. Wink gets by now. Russ Morse sets his sights on him. Not sure what happened with Morse in the qualifying race. Whatever it was, it is fixed. 63 moves to spot number 5. Actually make that spot 6. Trouble turn number 2. Nate Levitt around. Everybody gets around, but the caution flag is out. Yellow flies. Bobby Nato slows, and Scott Dorr. Frank Ware will bring him up to speed off of turn number 4. Green is in the air, and we are racing. Ware in the number 20 off of turn number 2 leads the pack down the backstretch, but he'll have new blood to deal with. Here comes the number 35 for Bobby Nato. Dan choose his line, hit his marks. Nato and the 34 Gagnon, not so lucky on that one, but Gagnon will fight out Bobby Nato. Remember, Nato looking for his first top 3 of the season. Hard to believe from last year's Wildcat champion. He's had a hard introduction to this division, but has stayed with it, and the number 35 runs in 3rd, right in front of Dan Wink. 2 former Wildcat champions run 3rd and 4th on the racetrack. Your 2005 champ, your 2004 champ, right ahead of Russ Morris and Mike Landry on the inside. Here comes Landry. The Roof Masters number 40 looks to put the low side, or put the move on the low side on Russ Morris, and down the back straightaway they go. Frank Ware is off and running. A little over a dozen laps to go. Russ Morris, who was in danger of losing a spot to Mike Landry, was sacrificing the few laps to build up momentum. And we see that now. Oh, his momentum almost taken away by Dan Wink. Wink slid up the racetrack just not even a half a groove. The two made minor contact, but it sent Morse ahead of Wink. So the number 63, keep an eye on him. The race looks like it will be for 2nd with 10 laps to go. Further on back to the pack, some good racing as Chris Smith looks like he might have problems. Saw the hand go up on Chris Smith, although he remains under full power. The number 1, number 2 in the point standings, waving his hand like he was trying to make it to pit road. Let's see what happens. The number 1 comes across the stripe. Everything seems to be okay, so an anxious moment for that team. Turns out it was nothing, and down the back straightaway he runs just inside the top 10. Meanwhile, up in front it's Frank Ware. Ware just walking away with this one. Dana Gagnon, Bobby Nato, and look who's found the outside groove to his liking. Russ Morris, arguably one of the hottest drivers in this division the last month and a half. Morse, who picked up 3 Wildcat wins last year, sold his Wildcat to Mike Rowe. We've seen what Rowe's been able to do with it. Picked up a win last Saturday night. And after the first half of the season and struggling back and forth, Russ Morris has picked up where he's left off in the Wildcats, challenging for wins. Picked up his first win a few weeks ago, and now on the outside of Bobby Nato for spot number 3. Give the spot to Morse. This time by 5 laps to go. 5 to go for your leader, Frank Ware. Can Russ Morris get to his back bumper? Does he have the time? He'll set up Dana Gagnon in turn number 3. Looking to the outside, keep your eye on the red car. The only side-by-side racing action inside the top 5 is the battle for 2nd. And look at this, Russ Morris will have 4 laps to catch Frank Ware. Can he do it? Off of turn 4, give the spot to Morris, turn 1. The TJ Sandwich Shop, number 63, with clear sailing ahead of him. He just might catch the leader. Wow, what a drive for Russell Morris in the number 63, running out of time. He will get to the back bumper, and Frank Ware looks like he's off a tick too. Ware a little bit slower the last time around the racetrack. It's now or never, and Russ Morris down to the inside. What a drive, they've beaten Bag off of 4, 2 to go. Russ Morris has taken over the lead. Down the back straightaway, charging on the outside, picking him off 1 by 1. And his big move was on the low side. 63 puts his car wherever he wants it. And Morse going for the win. Final time down the back straightaway. Frank Ware looked like his car went away in the final 5 laps. But what a drive by this driver, number 63. Russ Morris does it. Frank Ware, Dana Gagnon, Bobby Nato, 53, Dan Wink, 40 of Mike Landry, 88 of Andy Field. Unofficially, your top 7 drivers. Ladies and gentlemen, his 2nd win in 3 races. The word was on pit road, once Russ Morris figured out his Sports Series car, look out. And what a drive. On the outside, we saw him pick him off 1 by 1. Can't say that he can only do it on the inside. He did it both ways. Trackside to Dave Sturgis.
Welcome your feature winner, ladies and gentlemen, Russ Morse, your winner. Russ, congratulations and welcome to Victory Lane. Real nice run there coming from the back of the pack, and nice inside move towards the end there to take over that first place position.
Thanks very much. The last one was kind of bittersweet, but this one we worked hard. We've been working hard ever since we got wrecked about a month ago. It was probably the best thing that ever happened to that car. I gotta thank a lot of people. People that buy me tires and keep me going. Keith Emery. He owns this car, and I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for him. TJ's Sandwich Shop down Sebago Lake. If you're ever down Sebago Lake, stop at TJ's. Walter Black Carpentry, Main Telecom Solutions, Deer Pond Hair Salon, Classic Cuts, Custom Cuts and Nails. All the guys that helped me. Andy Jackson, Keith Emery, Kevin, I don't know his last name, so I call him Big Kev. Walter Black, just a bunch of people. Jody, my wife, of course. Jesus, she puts up a lot of stuff for me from working on this race car. But we worked hard, and we're here tonight.
A lot easier when you win it and you can take it home in one piece.
Yeah, it's a little banged up, but it's not too bad. Like I said, a month ago, we took it home on a car carrier. She was pretty bad off, so it probably, like I said, it was probably the best thing that ever happened to that thing.
Congratulations once again on Irving Oil Night as Rob is here with the first place presentation.
Russ, absolutely fantastic race. You put on a heck of a show coming from back the field there. Congratulations, and here's your trophy, sir.
Thank you very much.
Let's hear it for your feature winner, ladies and gentlemen, Russ Morse, your winner.
A tribute to the Westboro Speedway. Journey back through time with photos, films, and videos. Experience the cars, the stars, the way it was. Through the 50s to the 80s at the High Bank Quarter Mile Speedway. Plus, a look at the 2001 Westboro Speedway reunion. Order now by calling 888-RACE-VIDEO or 603-679-6796. Now you can own a part of racing history. Stars of the Winston Cup Series compete on a local short track. Not just an exhibition, but real wheel-to-wheel, no-holds-barred racing. Dale Earnhardt, Jeff Gordon, Morgan Shepherd, Ernie Irvin, Jeffrey Bodine, Davey Allison, and many more. Racing pro stocks against local drivers. To order your VHS copy in hi-fi stereo sound, call toll-free 888-RACE-VIDEO. That's 888-RACE-VIDEO.